It can take on the form of an iPhone application, a billboard, a television series, which is propaganda mingled with entertainment, which is quite dangerous propaganda, very much effective. It can be online, anywhere, in books, literature. Propaganda, the form of it is unlimited. Unlimited as the form. However, its function must always remain the same. Two primary functions: simplicity and repetition. Simplicity and repetition. It must be simple to understand, and it must be repeated over and over again. The tree I just showed you before. If you are starting up some Facebook page, starting up some group trying to kill the racist or sweep the racist off the streets, yet you believe you are revolutionaries, no. You are actually serving the current state, form and dogma. And realistically, you are neither capable nor willing to bring about any sort of revolution. A revolution today must be nationalistic, because that's the only thing which is actually being suppressed and held down by the current state dogma. Must be nationalistic, otherwise it's not a revolution, it's just an aid for the present state authority, for the present state of affairs. You're either aiding it or you're fighting against it. And if you're a so-called anti-racist, running around spitting these slander words at people, you're just aiding the current system, which is going to lead to the collapse of all higher culture. Now, simplicity and repetition. Two fundamental basics of propaganda. Now, the broader your audience, the larger the amount of people you wish to reach, the more simple your message needs to be. Let's say in this sphere here, I would like to reach an audience of 5 million people at a massive public demonstration. What a dream, huh? Whereas down here there's only 100 people, which I've invited to a political conference. Now, if I want to get my message across to 5 million people, first of all, I have to forget egalitarianism, because it's rubbish. And I need to understand that the majority of people are quite easily moved by their feelings. More likely, I'm just getting a phone call, more likely to go with what is being demonstrated to them in a method of strength, more likely to move along with simplicity, or what is being presented to them with simplicity and repetition. Okay? If I have a grouping together of 5 million people, it's actually easier to manage such people. Because there's not 5 million professors in here, there's not 5 million diplomats and people of an accomplished intellectual stature. There's just regular people who work regular jobs and who do not necessarily analyse the hell out of everything. Whereas if I hold a political conference and 100 people turn up, chances are the majority of them will be diplomats and professors and people of some sort of higher intellectual accomplished state. And therefore I need to make my message slightly more elaborate in order to appeal to a more intellectual minority. And so the point I'm making here is, the larger your audience or the more people you wish to reach, the simpler your message needs to be. However, the repetition remains the same. Repetition must always be maintained, because people, it doesn't matter whether they're smart or not, forget things quickly. Very quickly. I guarantee you this Parramatta shooting that just happened last Friday, where Curtis Cheng, a police employee at the New South Wales Police Headquarters in Parramatta, was shot dead by an Islamic youth who just walked directly from the mosque to the police headquarters and killed him. I guarantee you, no one will remember this in a couple of weeks. Except, of course, Cheng's family members. Because the media won't keep repeating it. The media will keep talking about diversity. Not directly, but subtly. In the form of entertainment. It will show different kinds of people getting along, smiling. Yeah, we're all good. Multiculturalism. Blah, blah, blah. It's the same message over and over again. But these are the basics of propaganda. And as a final statement, I will put to you, I know that everybody is inclined to believe in egalitarianism, as I once was myself. I used to hate racists as well. I used to work in Fitzroy, which is like the lesbian capital of Australia. And I used to walk around the streets and I used to see Marxist posters. And I used to think to myself, this looks interesting, ideas to challenge the system. What's this? I used to actually take pictures of these posters. I used to buy crazy communist revolutionary books from the local bookstores, and I was quickly becoming one of the so-called left-wingers of our modern times. But certain literature luckily saved me, and I woke up to the basic realities of the world. And I began to train and exercise, and I became a healthy member of my community. Now, you are not born egalitarian. Quite the opposite, in fact. You are born with a natural instinct for preservation, which, as an extension, becomes an instinct for the preservation of the species, a specific subspecies, in fact. Every natural animal in the green kingdom of nature has this instinct. It must be squashed out of you by egalitarian propaganda, by the state, in order to create a massive conformity, a hodge of cultureless, nationless, easy to manipulate and mould idiots. Egalitarianism is your enemy. Not me. Not a regular working carpenter from the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne who is trying to convey a new idea of life to you. I'm not your greatest threat. Your greatest threat is the sort of people that have been whispering in your ear since your very first day as a member of our communities. Be wary. I'll speak to you again soon.